what I'm going to do is give you a scenario. I'm going to kind of walk you through a little scenario because we're cops, right? So we scenario everything. I'm going to walk you through the steps of what it's like at the end of your shift when you get home and you've been around someone through the day that may have actually been infected or that you believe has been infected. Let me add my own little thought on this real quick. I think you should take the steps that we're going to talk about today every single time you get off the end of your shift. When you get off work, when you get home, I think you should do this every single day until this coronavirus thing has passed, until this crisis is over. I think you need to do this at the end of every shift. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but you know what? It's going to be absolutely worth it. So let's kind of go through this scenario just a little bit. Let's imagine that you get home. You need to have pre-established in your home a space where you can actually put your hard gear, the stuff that's not going to go into the laundry machine. You need to have a space already created, and everyone in your household needs to know that that's the space that you utilize for your gear when you get home from the end of your shift. And they don't need to be piling extra dirty clothes there, or the towels that were just done, or anything else. There no groceries need to be loaded on there. That needs to be your space. It can be a chair, a table, the top of the laundry machines, whatever it is, that is your space. You're going to potentially contaminate that for a moment, and then we're going to go through the steps and decontaminate that when you're finished. So have that dedicated space. That needs to be in or very close to your laundry room. My idea goes like this. You get home in your POV in your vehicle, you get out of the vehicle, you enter the house, and you need to be conscientious of everything that you touch along the way. I don't think that it's a good idea to go inside and first thing go and kiss the wife or, the husband, or head back to the kitchen and, grab something to drink and, open up the cookie jar and grab a chocolate chip cookie. I don't think any of that's a good idea for getting home right now. That should not be your standard protocol right now. Right now, it's wash your hands, decontaminate your hands, do whatever you've got to do as often as possible, but especially when you get to your house. You get to your house, use the hand sanitizer if you haven't. We'll get into that here in just a little bit. We'll talk about hand sanitizer because I know that it's not readily available right now for everybody. But you're going to get home and you're going to open the door, get inside to that laundry area, and you're going to basically take your duty gear off. So your Sam Brown would actually be one of those things, your boots, sunglasses, probably your watch, anything that you actually have on needs to go into this dedicated space that you've got preset for this. And then you need to remove your uniform. Now, I would be exceptionally careful whenever you remove your uniform because you don't want to take something that has landed on your uniform and then get it back airborne again so that you can breathe it in. You want to be very, very careful about that. Would I say that it's necessary to wear a mask? Up to you. If you want to be super, super safe, then yes, I would wear a mask to take off my gear. That's not always possible. Masks are not readily available all the time. And one thing that we're going to definitely learn through this video is that you can still do other things. You can do what you can do in order to still accomplish the same mission. So an example of that is if you don't have a mask, find a bandana, get a t-shirt, get something else. But if you want to have a barrier, some extra protection, and we all know that cotton and certain materials, that virus can pass right through them. But as we're learning, something is better than nothing. So putting a bandana around your face, or if you're a tactical person and you've got your balaclava, you've got something like that, then you can use whatever you need to do in order to protect yourself. And that's what we're going to talk about as we go through this. You may not have all the tools, but you can improvise and you can still make it work. So I would move that gear into your space that you've preset. I would very gently take off the uniform. It would go straight into the laundry machine. And we're going to talk somewhat topically about the different things that we believe as of today will actually kill the coronavirus. And one of those things is heat. So when you put your uniform into that laundry machine, you want to use the hottest water you can possibly use without shrinking your uniform or creating a situation where you damage or destroy your uniform. But you want to crank up that heat and use some hot water if at all possible when you wash that uniform. Another thing that we know will take care of the coronavirus is certain chemicals. So this might be a very, very good time for you to add a small amount of bleach to your wash, to use some high quality laundry detergent whenever you wash that uniform. But you need to let it run with the highest heat possible. Add anything that is safe for your laundry machine, safe for your uniform, that can also add a bit of an advantage on killing that coronavirus. And then ultimately, that's going to come out of the laundry machine and it's going to go into the dryer. And you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to crank up that heat to the highest level possible that's not going to destroy your uniform. We don't want to shrink your uniform and look like you're wearing a little kindergarten kid's uniform out there on duty. That's not the goal. But we want to apply as much heat as possible. So let's kind of go through some of the things that you need to think about in this scenario. You get in, you've got your gear off, it's in your space. Uniform has made it into the laundry. Laundry is started. Now then, it's going to come time to get your actual duty gear itself, your boots, your Sam Brown, all of your peripherals, all of those things need to be cleaned now. Now remember, this is without taking breaks to go to the bathroom or to go to the kitchen or to, hug your kids or anything like that. This is all done with you believing that you may have walked into the house with coronavirus somewhere on your uniform or on your duty gear. So what you're going to do now is you're going to use something to actually wipe down and clean your duty gear. So one example would be these Lysol wipes. These things are fantastic for wiping down your gear. They're good about not damaging your equipment. They are very, very lethal to most viruses, many of the bacteria and things like that. So using something like that, I would take each individual item out of and off of your duty belt. So I would take, for example, your handcuffs, and I would clean these handcuffs. And then once these things are clean, use whatever you're using to clean your hands as you're going through this as well. But once these things are wiped down and clean, these need to move to a safe space that has not been contaminated yet in your little zone that you've set up. So you've got your space where all of your gear sits. When you first take it off, you need to have a clean space close by. It can even be another section of the same table, or you're on the laundry machine doing this work, but the dryer is where you put everything once it's clean. But I would remove every single item one at a time. So I'd take out my magazines, I would clean them, completely clean these. And then I would take this, put it over there in the safe space. Your baton, every single little item that you have, I would clean every one of these items. Of course, your duty weapon, everything. You need to be very safe with this stuff because it may not be your standard protocol to have your gear, your weapons, and your pepper spray or your taser, anything else. It may not be your standard protocol to have those things just sitting out on your laundry machine or on a chair, on a table in your laundry room. So take the necessary steps to stay very safe so that a family member doesn't come along and, create some sort of an injury or something with your gear, with your equipment, as you're trying to keep them safe. Don't put them in higher, risk of injury by being unsafe with these things. After you finish getting all of your peripherals out of your Sam Brown, out of your duty gear, now you're gonna have to actually wipe down the duty belt, the boots, and those larger items individually. And this is where you want to spend a lot of time getting into every little nook and cranny, every little place in your duty gear. Really be very conscientious of wiping down your boots and getting inside. If you wear lace-up boots, getting in where the laces are, whatever it is, really give those things a very thorough wipe down. Now you may be thinking, you know what? I don't have these Lysol wipes, and they're very, very hard to find. So this is where I'm talking about improvising and coming up with something else to still accomplish your mission. So what I would encourage you to do is maybe you have bleach, maybe you've got a spray bottle, you've got some water to come out of the tap, you make up your own mixture like that. So make note of this combination real quick. You take your standard household bleach, 5 tablespoons into 1 gallon of water makes a combination that will take care of, that will destroy the coronavirus. If you don't want to mix up a gallon of this right off the bat,